Hey guys, Grumpy here with the next episode of Terra Incognita, our advanced colony guide. So in the previous episode we went over Banshee's build order, we broke down the credits per month stat, we discussed industrial chains, and we concluded the episode by founding our second and third colony, that being Gas and Wisp. In this episode we're going to go over the colony crisis, how to manage it, how to mitigate colony crisis buildup, pursue peaceful options, and then how to resolve some colony crisis permanently. So if you go to the intel screen and you click on colony threats, you'll see colony crises. This is a rather new addition to Star Sector. This is a model for the friction that you would expect to arrive if you are competing with factions economically and politically. Here on the Colony Crisis page, everything is explained for you. If you hover over it, it'll give you an explanation of how these points are generated. To begin with, you can mitigate this by building up your infrastructure. So we have a patrol HQ on one of our worlds, so we get a 0.9 multiplier to our colony crisis. If we upgraded that to a military base, it'd be 0.7. And if we upgraded that further to a high command, it would be a 0.5 multiplier. Patrol HQ, we can't upgrade it to a military base because we reached the maximum number of industries. But once this turns to size 6, then I'll go ahead and upgrade our Patrol HQ to a military base, and then finally to a high command. Then you have pirate activity. So pirate activity is very annoying, but it's also pretty easy to solve. So you can go to Kanta's Den, which is in the Mitigation system. So that is here in the Southern Core Worlds. And you can speak to Kanta's envoys and ask for a reprieve. Here we are in the Megek Star system. We are about to talk to Kanta and purchase the pirates, Kanta's protection, so we should stop being attacked by pirates. So you go here to the comm directory and you choose to speak to Kanta. We'll continue, and then here are your options. So you can give 100,000 credits, which will give you, I think, 1 cycle worth of protection. You can give 1 million credits, which is what we're going to do, which will give you permanent protection from the pirates. So we'll go ahead and click 1 million credits. Very expensive, but worth it if you don't want to deal with pirates. Next we have the Persean League. So the Persean League's peaceful option is to join their league. This comes at an exorbitant tariff though. You will lose 20% of your monthly gains. The only way to deal with this would be to unfortunately just fight the Perseans. Basically, it's better to join the league so you don't have to worry about that that disruption. So here we are on Kazaron. We can speak to him and then we can talk about joining the Persean League. Now, you can try to join the league, but what it will cost you is 20% of your gross colony income in dues. Very, very expensive, but if you are not ready to engage the Persean League, then you can go ahead and accept this. We're not going to accept it though, because 20% is just entirely too much. Instead, we will consider our military options. We'll go ahead and engage the Star Fortress here at Kazaron. We can bring in the rest of our ships now. Yep. And then there is one side left, which we should be able to get rid of. Nice. So we destroy their Star Fortress. We do need to, unfortunately, do quite a bit of damage to the Persians, and we will tactically bombard their worlds. We're not hostile with them, but we will become hostile. So we tactically bombard Kazaron, saves us some of our colony crisis. Then we will continue with military options, and we will launch a raid against them. We will take their nanoforge. At this point, it doesn't matter. They're already hostile to us, so hiding our identity doesn't make a difference. Confirm and continue. And then we want to launch another raid in a few days, and we will disrupt their megaports as well as their orbital works. Then we'll launch a raid against them. We took their nanoforge, so now we want to disrupt their orbital works. Yeah, we'll split it like this. So 60 for their orbital works, 60 days for their mining, and then 40 days for their megaport. Hit select. And we'll launch a raid against them. Continue, and their stability is really low. Now, if we go speak to Hanan, we can talk about joining the League. And then we should be able to get it reduced. We can join the League now without having to pay dues. So we get the upside of being a part of the Persean League without having to pay the 20%. So waive the usual dues. Yes, we will accept that. We picked up a commission with the Persians. So we will continue on. They take their pristine nanoforge back, which is fine. We get a huge boost in relationships. So we are currently, we are back up to 9 out of 10. And now we can leave. You'll see that we are no longer gaining the 13, I believe, that we were getting from Kazaron. Then you have Tri-Tachyon Corporation. So you will get this from competing exports. As you increase your goods, the tiers of goods that you produce, then you will gain more and more hostility with Tri-Tachyon. So we're producing currently 4 recreational drugs, 4 luxury goods, because that's the size of our production. If we produced more of those goods, we would generate more colony crisis per month. So if we had produced like 5 recreational drugs, then this would go to competing exports plus 5. So the way you resolve this with them is either shrink how much you're producing so that this modifier falls off, or you go the commerce rating route, which is what I'm going to pursue. So here we are, we're at Port Say. I brought along a couple of my ships, so we're going to go ahead and attack the Port Say orbital station and then raid it right after. And you'll see that we'll get a ton of progress for this. So we'll continue the battle and we'll deploy it all. So Port Say is a really nice base to attack first because it doesn't have a big orbital station. This is pretty simple to destroy. Kind of overkill with the fleet that I brought. But we get the job done. We will launch a raid against them. We will disrupt their spaceport for a few days. We can disrupt their mining as well. Launch raid. So we get 40 for disrupting their mining and then another 40 for disrupting their spaceport. So we will leave then. And now if we go to the intel screen and we go to colony threats, the Tri-Tachyon commerce rating has jumped up massively. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the Mitigation system and do the same thing on Tribeca. Destroy the station. Pick through the wreckage here. We'll take everything and then we will launch a raid. We'll go ahead and disrupt their industries. So they have 3 industries here. So we'll go ahead and disrupt them like such. We'll go for 40 days on all 3 of them, 60, 60, and 40. Select, launch raid. We get 33 from disrupting their commerce, 33 from disrupting their mining, and then 40 for disrupting their megaport. Now we'll go ahead and leave here. I believe you need to go to Echo Breeze. Ryan Arroyo. Yeah, here we go. Ryan, do you think you could arrange a deal to solve my ongoing friction with Tri-Tachyon? Yes. And then you can confirm the deal. So you get increased accessibility proportional to their market size and proportional gains to Tri-Tachyon. So here we go. We will confirm the deal. And now we get increased accessibility, and Tri-Tachyon gets increased accessibility as well. Then you have the Luddic Church. So basically, the Luddic Church is pretty easy. What they do is they provide you population growth, but this comes at the cost of being unable to build more manufacturing-focused industries, because then you'll just get penalties for them. You can resolve that pretty easily. All you have to do is go to the Luddic Church Worlds and just say, hey, we don't want Luddic Church colonists in our colony. That's the easiest to resolve. We can do that pretty easily. And then the hedge is just all about AI core uses. Essentially, you have to go, just like the Perseans, you have to go to war with the hedge in order to get them to back down, and you can use your AI cores. There's also the Sindrians. The Sindrians will provide colony crisis if you go into fuel production, which if we go over to gas, our fuel production will be up and running in about 120 days. So pretty soon they'll be on the board as well. So currently, Sindria is not hostile with us, but as soon as we finish building our fuel production and we get into the fuel producing business, then they will become hostile with us and begin to contribute to our colony crisis progress. So I want to go ahead and preempt it, and we're going to do it in what I find to be one of the most fun ways possible, which is to break into Sindria and steal the synchrotron core from them. That will disable them from the fuel production market, and they'll back off from you. And the way we're going to do that is using an entirely phase fleet. So here I have all the dooms that I've collected from Tri-Tachyon being commissioned with them. So they're built the exact same way. Reaper, and Light Needler with heavy blasters to supplement their damage. Inside of our actual crew, like what we're carrying, we have 2,000 Marines. I think this is enough to take the Synchrotron core. If we can blow up the Sindrian battle station. I don't think 2,000 is enough. I think if you want to steal it outright without any disruption, I think you need like 5,000 Marines or something like that. I don't have that many, so we're going to do it the other way. Alright, so the way we want to do this is hover over Asconia, find where their relay is. So it's down here near Nordia. So we can jump into the fringe jump point, go over to the relay, and then introduce some false signals. So we'll do it like this. We want to make sure that our transponder is off for this entire, and we want to introduce false readings into the data field. What this will do is it will cause the patrol fleets to scatter in random directions, chasing ghosts, which should open up an opportunity for us to approach Sindria undetected. Cool. So we have a mercantile convoy, a patrol fleet. Looks like Sindria is open. So we'll go ahead and move into position. Launch raid. Okay. We don't have enough Marines to take the Synchrotron core from them. That's fine. Instead, what we'll do is we will engage the battle station. So we will continue with the battle. We'll deploy our ships. Looks like we can only get the Dooms in. That's fine. And Sindria is a very difficult battle station. It's a tier 3 low tech. So it has a lot of point defense and a lot of fighters. But our Doom should be able to deal with that pretty effectively because we have the Mind Strike. So what I'm going to do is select all. and issue an eliminate command. Now, we may lose dooms in this attempt, but I think we have enough mines that we should be able, mines and reapers, that we should be able to deal with this. So let's continue forward. So we want to issue the eliminate command to encourage them to fire off their reapers. We don't need them to be shy and try to hold on to their reapers to the end. The more we can overwhelm them, the better. And then there's just one more segment to go. Nice. So we're able to clear their battle station, and we just want to launch a raid, and we want to secure the synchrotron core from them. And we'll lose more reputation. We could have spent the story point in order to prevent that, but that's fine. And here we go. We are now the proud owners of a synchrotron core, and we will get out of here like a thief in the night. So let's see if we can resolve the conflict with the Luddic Church. And then I believe we need to speak to the station commander. Okay, so when you speak to the station commander, you can say, the Knights of Lud are essentially clipping piracy in my volume, and I demand it to stop. A compromise, a concordat would resolve this situation, and that will basically remove the Luddic Church from generating colony crisis progress. So, that's how you manage your colony crises. I would strongly recommend that you manage them before you get up to 400 and 500, because there could be some lagging effects. You definitely don't want to hit 600. That can be devastating. The size of the fleets that will attack you is scaled based on your colony size, so you can get some real nasty invasion fleets. In the next episode, after we resolve all these colony crises, then we'll look to maximize our profits using AI cores, domain artifacts, and administrators. Other than that, Grumpy out.